We got Tasty first up over for the Team 1. With Team 1 having Cracker on that team. We got, it says, Ari Holic. Oh my god, you get full party Buccaneer mug. We got ourselves on the back Adva as well as Kaloon? What? I don't know. Cop, Loon, Bali? Cop. We gotta call him Cop. We got Air Audrey. Gonna be first up as an Owl Rogue, trying to see if he can go for a kidney shot versus Ace. Gonna be a full wall by the Earth Elemental, giving him that bolster defensive. RJ going for the Kyrian setup, trying to see if he can continue the sustained damage. Gonna be an early clock of shadows out of the Rogue, could put him in a dangerous situation later. Stacy is rotated out of the Earth Elemental, the Fire Alley, big lasso to Raji. Looks like no trinket, no cloak, no nothing, and the Rogue does go down into a singular zap, just giving the shock. Therapy shock tree, big lava burst to follow versus Psycho as he's going in with some damage of his own. Popped up his Earth Elemental Sunder onto Tasty. That's going to be a stun by the Ellie Shaman. It's going to try to see if he can get himself some healing while moving, and it's going to be massive ascendance out of Team Psycho. Tasty trying to see if he can land a Hex. No trinket out of Team Psycho is going to let Tasty get some recovery. Team Psycho banked up a lot of cooldowns. He's ready to unleash the full might of the element and handsome shaman, but the latter loss does separate the two for just a moment as Stacy is trying to create some space between the two. Psycho slowly trying to see if he can close that gap, landing that quick interrupt against the flesh cap. That's going to be a Hex to follow, but Stacy trying to give himself a little bit more CC, a little bit more survivability. Takes a try to see if he can land himself an angle. So far, this back and forth with Shamans, it's just been kind of tough to see which one is going to end up winning this. I think Tasty has had quite a huge advantage in this duel. The fact that he could just go for a Hex onto Psycho, remove him out of the game altogether, right? And there's only so much Psycho can do. He can interrupt the first Hex, but the second one is definitely going to go through. Not much you can really do about it unless he can stave a trinket for it. I think it might be the only way for him to really mitigate it in order to keep the pressure rolling. Big Archer going to Psycho, popping off a wall, trying to see if he can stagnate a lot of the damage on Tasty. There goes a Hex, does get the interrupt. Does Psycho have enough pressure here? It's going to go for a big Hex, big Bloodlust. It's going to be a Hex either way. Unless you have a trinket for this one, there's no way of resetting it. There's no way of removing it. It does get knocked down for a second with a slow to follow. Daisy trying to see if you can pressure him from above with an Earth Shock. We're now to chase it after Psycho with a Frost Shock. Like the last one to follow. Looks like Psycho's getting low on health. Does he have any more recovery? Gives himself a heal at the last second as a Lava Burst connects. And Tasty watching Psycho just go for a mad bit of recovery with that Vintage Shade Harvest. Looks like Psycho might have actually found some pressure where Tasty Sunder to stun. Does he have enough? Tasty has a trinket going for it. Is it going to be an interrupt? I think he might have juked it. Oh, and Tasty looking for that reset. The Ghosts are trying to see if they can bind at the Ellie Shaman, but looks like it's not going to be enough. Recovers just a little bit of health. Not fully recovered though. Could still be in a very tight situation. I don't know if they have an Earth Elemental. Going to be a mad ascendance for Psycho. I think he's just trying to see if he can deal with this. Going to be a last stop in a place for Psycho. Both of the Shamans are kind of low. Does Tasty get himself any recovery whatsoever? Going to be a Stun Totem. That's going to be Psycho not walking to the Stun Totem. Using that ascendance to just get range damage versus Tasty. That's going to be a porter around the corner. Does he even have to finish it? Hex at the last second. Looks like Psycho does end up clobbering him down. Gonna be a quick Sunder by Psycho, getting Arky out in the open. Kidney Shot to follow. Is trying to see if he might be able to max out some damage inside of the Kidney Shot with an Adrenaline Rush to follow. Does he have the damage though? Does so much to Psycho. Trying to see if he can continue the pressure rolling. And Psycho, as soon as he gets his weapons back, he'll have himself plenty of metal to generate. Big grapple hook away from Arky, just separated away to another zip code versus Psycho. As the Shaman does burn a wall, trying to see if he can get close next to Arky. Massive Chain Harvest does give the Rogue really low. That's going to be quick gouge. Maybe a Kidney Shot to follow. Arky goes for a Vanish. I did not watch to see if that Vanish gives him cooldown reduction. But looks like a Flame Shock is still keeping him out in the open. This Rogue's got to be very careful. It's going to be slower on the corner. Almost land himself a full reset. Kidney Shot onto Psycho. Has a trinket in case he needs to. Arky kind of backpedaling out of there. Blooded Psycho forces a trinket out of him. And looks like Arky trying to go for an evasion to follow. Psycho's limited in what he can really do to Arky. Trying to see if he can stun him in place. That gouge still might let the Rogue escape. That's a perfect setup. Gouge with it. Does have to follow. Just not letting the Shaman play the game at all. The Shaman is either stunned, he's gouged, he's sapped, he's blooded, he's disarmed. It looks like Arky is still on the back foot, even though it has all the control over the Shaman. It just shows you that Psycho just focusing on generating as much maelstrom as possible, getting as much damage as he can versus Arky. That's going to be a full flash count, almost landing a full channel. But Psycho pushes in, kind of presses Arky. Most likely going to be another Kidney Shot. I think Psycho might have used a Battle Master trinket just now. Ari getting nipped down by those ghost swords on the side. Team Psycho kind of low on health. That's going to be also dampening slowly but surely, ramping up. That's going to be big. Ascent is trying to see if he can blast out the rogue. It does get to do so. With Cobb going to be up next. I got to figure out your name. It's like Koplu na Bali. I don't know what that means. But we're going to call you Cobb. Massive chain harvest for Team Psycho. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Paladin. I don't know why it's called the Warrior. Massive damage on the Cobb though. Huge setup. As he went in for a resonator. I didn't even notice the resonator right onto the shaman's feet. But listen, Cobb did take down your boy Shaman. Team Psycho at the very last second. Voodoo Death going to be next up for the Team 2. I like the mog you're trying to go for. I think you look like extremely pale with that flesh gap, so it's really hard to see. But otherwise, it look pretty cool. Going to be a Cobb, not really in a great position. Kind of getting lower in health little by little. Already, actually, no, I was going to say already burned Bubble versus Ari, but looks like, or Psycho, but he didn't. Only Shield of Vengeance. I honestly thought he burned one. But that's like IBF coming out really early for Voodoo. That's going to be Bubble out for Cobb. Is he going to be able to turn this damage around though? He does get a Wake of Ashes, stunning all those pets. Voodoo's kind of by himself. Is going to sacrifice the pet as soon as possible. Summon a fresh new ghoul. As he got himself that grippy hand rolling, looks like Cobb is going to go for a bit of a flash cap, recovering a lot. Voodoo might be in big trouble. It's going to be, Lynchmore trying to catch some of a healer too, but Cobb walking by him, going for a little bit of a burst here and there, taking him out. Wilson got ourselves our tennis over on the Team 2 with Denelope getting hit with a Hodge immediately, as Cobb just going for the Hodge and trying to separate away from the other team's Paladin. Trying to catch himself a heal or two. Denelope slowly waddling. I like the whole like maw aesthetic you got. The mace and everything. Whole Sanctum set. I like some of those cosmetic weapons they added in Xerath. Hopefully they'll add more in the future. Like unique weapons that you can pick up. From more than just like PvE or PvP. Just like from the world, from rares and stuff. I enjoy that. And some of those models, they look good. Stun onto Cobb. Looks like Denelope backing up out of there. I guess it took a little bit of damage. Seeing the Blessing of Protection out of Cobb. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna back up, catch a quick heal, and I'm gonna go back in there. Looks like still plenty of pressure coming down from Cobb though. As he just continued to force pressure onto Denelope. Enough to force a Bubble out of the other team's Paladin. Denelope trying to see if they can max out the damage with the wings and Bubble versus Cobb. It looks like Cobb just had to wait until Bubble is over. Interrupt on Denelope, putting pressure on the Valley. War stop to follow. Is that going to be enough stun right after Trinket to follow? But I think Denelope is going to try to go for as much self-healing as possible. Word of Glory spam back to back, trying to catch back up. Flash of Light going, but it's going to be a quick rebuke, and Cobb does end up taking them down. With Artena's going to be last one left over for the Team 2. Trying to go for a big old IBM versus Cobb. I think that was somebody's resolve trick. I'm not really sure. A Resonator. Not really sure whose it was. The Demon Hunter does have a demon spawning in for him. Better use Metamorphosis whenever you slay it. I better be very careful of this Paladin that is full wings blaring. This is going to be dropping down darkness. Trying to be extra careful. That's going to be the Fell Brand onto Cobb. Next auto check is going to give him wings, but looks like the Demon Hunter has bigger, stronger wings than he does. Cracker charging out from up the ramp towards the Demon Hunter, not really given an opportunity to really escape or really find recovery. Going to be Demon Hunter literally flying up in the air as Cracker got himself flash capped and is just waiting for him. Waiting for him down below like a cat waiting for a bird, hungrily ready to slam him down. Well, that's all I'm gonna do. Cobb apparently got 3 kills. Are you kidding me? Psycho and Tasty had the longest back and forth as only Shaman versus Enhancement, man. It was just the longest back and forth, but it just shows you the amount of healing and survivability both of these classes bring to the table. Let's get another group going, boys. Yeah, we got the same team. Yeah, I'm down to go again. I'm down to go.